Living alone sounds simple, right? But as you can see, there are many people in Japanese cities, but it's only people that you can see, but they live alone inside of their home. You have your own space, your own routine, your own freedom. But living alone in Japan feels different. I didn't notice it at first. Everything looked normal. Clean apartments, quiet streets, organized life. But after some time, you start feeling something else. Something can't really explain at the beginning. Let me show you what I mean. First is silence. Japan is quiet, not just peaceful, but really quiet. But right now I am sitting one of the noisiest places in Osaka. You wake up, there are no noise, no neighbors shouting, no random sounds. At first it feels relaxing, like your mind can finally rest. But after some time, the same silence can feel heavy, because silence is powerful, but too much silence can feel like isolation. And when you live alone, you feel that more. Another thing is space. Apartments in Japan are small, very efficient. Everything has purpose. At first, I thought, how do people live in such a small spaces? But when you adapt, you stop collecting unnecessary things. You simplify your life. And slowly you recognize something interesting. You don't actually need that much. Living alone here teaches you minimalism without forcing it. But minimalism also means less distraction. And when there are fewer distractions, you spend more time with your own thoughts. That can make you better. That can be good, or it can be uncomfortable. Another thing I noticed is routine. Life in Japan becomes very structured. You wake up, go out, come back, and repeat. When you live alone, no one breaks that routine. No one interrupts your day, which sounds good, but also makes days feel similar. And when days feel similar, time starts moving faster. You look back and a whole week is gone. Another thing that feels different is social life. In many countries, it's easy to talk to strangers. But in Japan, people respect personal space more, which means less random conversation, less spontaneous interaction. So when you live alone, you don't naturally meet people every day. You have to make an effort. And if you don't, it is very easy to disconnect it. I felt that myself. Sometimes you go through the whole day without a real conversation. And that is the strange feeling, because physically you are surrounded by people, but mentally you feel alone. Another interesting thing is safety. Japan is very safe. You can walk at night. You don't worry much about crime. That changes how you live alone. You feel comfortable. But here is the twist. Because everything is so safe, you become more isolated without nothing. You don't feel to rely on others as much. And slowly you become more independent, which is good. But at the same time, it can create distance from people. Living alone in Japan teaches independence very fast. You learn to do everything yourself, handle problems, manage money, organize your life, and that builds confidence. But it is also means you carry everything alone. No one sees your daily struggles. No one notices small wins. It's all internal, and that is a very different experience. Another thing I've realized is how peaceful loneliness can feel here. That might sound strange, but Japan has a way of making solitude feel normal. You see people eating alone, traveling alone, sitting alone, and no one judges it. So you start accepting it too. Being alone doesn't feel wrong. It just feels normal, and that changes your mindset. You stop depending on consistent social interaction. You become more comfortable with yourself. And honestly, that is one of the biggest lessons. Living alone in Japan is not just about space. It's about learning how to be yourself without distractions, without noise, without consistent connection. And that can be powerful but also challenging, I know, because not everyone is ready for that. Sometimes you want noise, you want conversation, you want energy, and that is when you really feel difference. Living alone here is quiet, structured, safe, but also introspective. It makes you think more, feel more, notice more. After some time, you realize something. Living alone in Japan is not just about living alone. It's about understanding yourself in a completely different environment. And once you experience that, you don't see living alone the same way again. Japan will give you a completely different perspective. I believe it. And if you are tired living alone here, just come to the Osaka's Namba. It's the noisiest place, and there are many foreigner people also coming here and enjoying their life. It's very noisy place, and it can make you some energy. So thank you for watching, and I would like to see you in the next video. Bye.